4 years have passed since the fall of insomnia, and the death of a king and father. In the long dark of eternal night, Princess Reyna has turned from the light to embrace the shadows. She is pulled from her friends one by one, until the only people she confides in are the trapped spirit of her fallen father and a man who seems to understand everything about her.
Do you dream?
I dream of a world in which perpetual night has fallen. A world where the gods are dead and forced to watch from afar as Eos rots from the inside out while their chosen falls. Oh wait.
You know what I meant.
Do I see the future? Not as you do, no.
How do you know about my dreams then?
Because I know what they are, little dreamer. Haven't you figured it out yet? Don't try to use that little brain of yours. I'll even give you a hint. What is it you can do? We can do. That no one else alive or dead is capable of.
Control the demons?
Aside from that...
We can visit the in-between.
Bravo, little dreamer, bravo! And what do you know about the in-between realm?
From the in-between I can see through space and time.
Ding, ding, ding! We have a winner! Congratulations, Princess! You've won a lifetime supply of existential angst and the ability to see more than you ever wanted.
But if time is visible from the in-between, why can't you see the future?
I didn't say I couldn't see the future. I merely said I could not see it as you do. You are special.
But I didn't dream when it mattered.
Yes, and you shouldn't accidentally dream while awake, either. So it seems I do not have all the answers. I believe we have mused on the peculiarities of your magic for long enough. Come along now, little dreamer. I have something to show you.
He led her to the upper levels of the citadel, which she had once called home. The last time she had set foot there was 4 years ago. Her father had been alive. She had woken in his room that very morning, though she had resolved not to sleep the night before on her last night in insomnia. She had never imagined her departure would be so permanent. She followed Arden, though her feet felt heavier with every step. She knew without knowing that he was taking her to the end of the hall, the farthest suite of rooms where she had slept nearly every night for months, if not years, before leaving.
Father's rooms.
After you?
I swear to you, Arden, if this is some sick joke...
Oh, you wound me, little dreamer. I would never. Open the door.
Lights flickered inside. I had expected to find it derelict, as ruined and tattered as the rest of the citadel after being subjected to Arden's redecoration efforts. But it wasn't. It was exactly as I remembered. All of Father's possessions were untouched, unspoiled. There was even a fire crackling in the hearth, as if it was just waiting for him to come home. But in his bedroom, adjustments had been made. Above the bed hung a portrait. Father, austere and magnificent, looking down on me from the canvas. Beneath it was a gold plaque, inlaid with the message, "In Memoriam Regis Lucis Calum the 113th. The bed was laid with flowers, black and white blossoms, intermixed and arranged to cascade across the pillows and down. Why? Why did you do all this?
I made it for you, little dreamer.
How?
I can make most anything I like, even in this world.
Can you bring him back?
Were he simply dead, the answer would be no. One must have a soul to occupy a body. But in this case, it just so happens that you have one.
What must I do?
Wait here with me. Just a few more years. And if at the end I survive and Noctis does not, I promise to bring your father back to you.
It was an offer I should not even have considered. But if Arden knew anything, it was how to tempt me. Nothing could ever be right again, no matter what he promised. I knew that, but I wanted so badly to hope. It was the only hope I had for nearly 10 years.
In the midst of a 10-year night, civilization was learning to walk without sunlight. Power lines stretched across Lucis in a web, spreading outward from Lestalem and bringing light to the kingdom. Between that and the walls built up around each settlement, they held out against the perpetual nights and the demons it brought. But though Lucis was largely under control once more, there were those who wished to stretch farther.
We must retake Insomnia, Your Highness.
For what purpose?
To prepare for the king's return.
Are you afraid Noctis won't be able to handle a few demons once he emerges with the amassed power of 2,000 years of Caelum's?
There are more than demons inside.
If you believe yourself capable of taking on Arden, by all means do so. But leave the glaive out of it. They are needed elsewhere.
I meant the MTs. Or have you made friends with them, too?
If you want the MTs gone, I will eliminate them myself.
I don't trust.
Your Majesty!
Highness!
Demons are gathering outside the city! Hundreds of them! They're heading right for us!
Now will you believe me when I say he is not to be trusted?
They climbed the steps to the top of the wall surrounding Lestalem. At the edge of the floodlights, hundreds of shapes writhed in the shadows. Demons. Demons of all shapes and sizes, closing in on Lestalem.
Libertus, call everyone in Lestalem. The glaives, the hunters, everyone.
I did not give that order, Cor.
Your lack of action is what prompted my action.
Your action is insubordination. If you cannot stand at my side and follow my orders, you will not stand at my side at all.
In the midst of a horde stood a lone man, as much a part of the shadows as the demons were.
Little dreamer! There you are, little dreamer.
Arden, to what do I owe the pleasure?
You haven't been visiting, little dreamer. I'm beginning to think you don't like me anymore.
A social visit? You might have called, at least. I haven't even done my hair.
Next time, little dreamer. Tonight I have some business.
And what might that be?
Tell me, dear dreamer, how attached are you to the Blind One?
Your Highness.
I love him.
Love. I could give you so much more if you let me. When you let me. When all your ties are cut.
He barely moved, but I could feel the pull of his magic. 100 demons, 200 demons, surged forward as one.
I'm glad your pride is more important to you than the safety of this city. Will you listen to me now?
If you don't trust me, then stay behind.
Ring of the Lucii flared to life, and power surged through her. It hurt like every other time, pouring through her body like molten steel, cracking open her skin and showing through her eyes. But that was the price she paid to hold the world in her hands and shape it to her will. She was outside of Lestalem, outside of Eos, outside of time. She watched the demons leap, and then, after, they leapt. The power of the Lucii cradled the city. A shimmering shield formed at the top of the wall, and each demon that reached it was repelled. It was easy from outside. It was easy to lift her body to the top of the parapet and step in front of Ignis, because Ignis was the only person they were interested in. It was easy to see where they would land and make sure her Naginata was there to greet them. It was easy to send lightning crackling along the outside of the shield, fire dancing down the wall, ice creeping across the ground.
Too Ray! You're not alone up here, you know!
This is not your fight, Iris.
Your fights are my fights! Haven't you figured that out yet? Don't look at me like that. I'm your shield, alright?
Right. Together?
Together.
Together.
Can't let you have all the fun!
You're not playing fair, little dreamer. It's meant to be the two of us. A battle for the prize. By all means, stand there and look magnificent until we are through. But don't interfere.
Just you, Ignis, and a demon army?
If you would prefer that I face in person, I'm happy to oblige.
I'm not going to let you kill him, Arden.
I do this for you, little dreamer. I could give you everything.
Is that what you think this is?
You don't owe them anything. Now, little dreamer, there's no need for hostility.
I don't want you to kill Ignis. I want you to walk away and leave him alone.
You can't have us both, little dreamer.
Well, that was weird.
Reyna, are you all right?
Fine. Did they hurt you?
No, I am unharmed.
Good. Let's go back inside.
So, how long has your 2,000-year-old demonic ancestor been wanting to jump your bones, Ray?
No idea.
Are we not going to talk about this? I think we should talk about this.
There's nothing to talk about. I just need to think.
What the hell was that?
I am walking a delicate line to keep Lucis safe, Marshal. If you cannot trust me, then at least have the respect, or fear, to challenge me in private. Whichever motivates you, I do not care. Are you wondering what I think of Arden?
No,
Why?
I do not wonder because I trust you. Fully, completely, without reservation. If I had any lingering doubt, I might wonder, but I do not. Nor would I wish your judgment to be clouded by concern for my safety. Whatever must be done with regards to Arden, I will stand beside you.
That doesn't bother you?
Your alliance with him earns us a great deal. You have control over the daemons due to his favor of you, and he has not organized an attack on a settlement in years. If I must endure his antagonism for that, then so be it. Lucius is more important.
I will keep you safe.
I know.
The dreams returned. When I was asleep, I slipped into the in-between unintentionally. And when I was in the in-between, he could find me. He could give me shape in a world of empty blackness and whisper in my ear.
You love him. Love. What does that mean in a world of this sort? Does he ever bring you joy? Do you even remember what joy is anymore?
Joy was being with Father and Noctis. When we used to go out to the pond and watch knocked fish, or laugh over dinner, or sneak into Father's room in the middle of the night.
When you belonged. Even if you didn't have everything you wanted, you had everyone who mattered. You don't need to live in this nightmare forever, you know.
Your future is as bleak as this one. Darkness and destruction, an end to all life and love and light.
Only if you let it be. Be my queen, little dreamer. And this world will be whatever you want it to be. We can bring back the sun, for who better to hold back the dark than the ruler of demons? We can sit at the top of the world where we belong. We could rule a world free from the astrals, spare our people forevermore from their hubris and cruelty. Wouldn't you like to put right all the wrongs in the world? Be my queen, little dreamer.
I don't want to be anyone's queen. And I don't want you to hurt Ignis.
Yes, we have established that. But the question remains, what do you want? Whatever it is you can tell me. Your darkest dreams, your secret desires.
I don't know.
Oh, my little dreamer. You spend so much time seeing to the needs of others that you no longer know your own. All I can do then is guess. Shall I try? You want not to be alone anymore, because for 4 long years you have been so lonely. You want someone to see you for who you truly are, because you're tired of pretending, and you need for that person to love you in spite of what they see. And it goes without saying that Ignis does not give this to you. If he did, you wouldn't still want it.
That's not true.
No? Do you believe he understands you, as I do? Do you think that he knows your heart and soul? Do you think he would still love you if he knew? I could give you what you want. I could be everything you need. All I need from you is one little word. Until then, I'll be watching, little dreamer. I'll be waiting.
Winter returned to Lucis, and with it a sort of stability. Demons still roamed the roads, and any vehicle moving between settlements required an escort. But save for travel, the demons tended not to bother them. People attributed that to different things: the glaive, the walls, the lights, a lingering blessing from the oracle, or Reyna herself. No one seemed to give credit where it was due. Arden, his gift granted her control over the demons. His favor granted her settlements a reprieve from demonic attacks. And so, between the growing settlements and Arden's intensifying devotion to her, all that remained to threaten Lucis was the Star Scourge.
Preliminary tests for the inoculation have been promising, Your Majesty.
Highness.
Yes, Your Highness. The first clinical trials have gone well. All test groups show no major side effects to the vaccine. With your approval, we'll broaden the pools and proceed with the next phase of testing.
Have you any notion of how effective it will be?
The challenge model minority group has shown no signs of infection.
A translation for the rest of us?
The people who have been inoculated with the new vaccine and then exposed to the Star Scourge under controlled situations have not contracted the disease.
If I might, I am given to understand that this process, from preliminary testing to clinical trials, usually takes place over many years. Is it not unsafe to proceed so rapidly?
Well, ideally we would have at least 2 years to monitor the results of tissue and animal subjects and at least a year in the first phase of human testing. But ideally we also wouldn't be in danger of extermination.
Do it. You have my approval. Expand the test groups as you see fit.
Thank you, Your Highness.
If there's nothing else...
The hunters say there's a great big demon in that tunnel on the way to Galden. It's growing out of the wall. Any takers?
I wouldn't want to ruin your fun. Try core.
You don't want to ruin my fun, but you're gonna recommend I take core with me? Really, Ray?
It's the best I can offer.
I just wish their heads didn't dissolve. I would have so many wall trophies.
It seems young Eurus, at least, has found joy in this new world.
We all must do what we can to survive. Those who were younger when this began have it easier.
And yet you are not so much older than her.
Aren't I? Sometimes I feel it.
The ring takes its toll.
Time and time again.
And you have cause to use it more than most.
It is no mystery why Kalums tend not to live long lives.
No, I suppose not. It's growing late. You should have something to eat.
Though she had no more desire to eat than she had for the past 4 years, she followed Ignis to the dining room. It was scattered with hunters and glaives. Heads turned as they entered. It was all but impossible for Rayna to avoid notice these days. A few people scrambled to their feet to bow, others averted their gaze. But all of them put their heads together to exchange covert whispers when she failed to acknowledge any of them.
You know, Princess Rayna has the scourge.
I heard she means to spread it.
She's got demons in her head. Wouldn't be surprised if she was a demon.
I'll be upstairs.
Rayna.
Arden, I need you.
And where shall we go, little dreamer?
I reached out and formed the in-between to my will without thinking about it. The landscape appeared around us, as if a thick fog had receded away, laying bare what had always been present. A still pond with a lone pier, surrounded by towering evergreens and winding dirt paths. A pair of collapsible chairs sat at the shore end of the pier, and a bucket of ice at the other end.
How very quaint.
This is where you used to go when Noctis wants to fish. Sometimes just the two of us. Sometimes with Father.
No matter how much good you do, no matter how many lies you say, they will only see the darkness. You think it matters to them that you have never harmed a single person. You think it matters that all you have ever done is for their good, their safety, their well-being. They will turn on you simply because you look too much like their nightmares. They will cut you down and cast you out as soon as someone points the finger at you. People are mindless and incapable of complex thought.
How did you endure it?
By turning it around. They call you a monster. Use it. Embrace it. Never deny. Never regret. Am I a monster or a man? Am I a killer or a healer? Why settle for only one? Sometimes it takes a monster to save the world. And do you know what?
What?
When you embrace both, you can be whole again.
He was closer. When he exhaled, She could feel it hot on her lips.
Arden.
Little dreamer.
Don't.
If you didn't want it, you would open your eyes and be back in your nice little bed with your nice little Ignis.
I won't betray Ignis.
Ignis. If you would let me kill him, this wouldn't be a problem.
I don't want you to kill him.
Yes, so you have said. Then perhaps you should tell him your interests have changed.
I don't want to be with you, Arden.
Inevitably, she did get hungry. The meagre portion of lunch hadn't lasted long in her stomach. Short of sending Ignis to the kitchens to get food for her, the only way to avoid the whispering was to go in the lull between shifts, a time that would otherwise have been called the dead of night. But everything was night now. Ignis slept. She had years of experience at slipping out without waking him. Nevertheless, he found her while she was reheating a pan of stew on the stove.
Still slipping away while I'm asleep?
I didn't mean to wake you.
You should always wake me.
You should take what rest you can.
I would rather be with you. Are you hungry? I can cook for you.
You don't need to do that.
Nor do you need to put up with what these people serve you.
He caught her chin, tilting her head back and loosening his hold on her just enough to kiss her.
Let me provide for you everything you want.
It was distracting. Almost distracting enough to make me forget the oddities. These people. Everything I wanted. And since when did he hold me so tight, kissed me just so, with growing desperation as if... Arden!
Oh, you might have at least pretended not to notice. And it was all going so well.
Don't.
Oh, little dreamer, do not fear me. When the rest of the world screams and flees, you stand resolute. You understand. But I'm growing bored of waiting for you to leave, Ignis. When will you admit what everyone already knows?
I'm not...
Don't waste your breath lying to me. If you loved him, you wouldn't come to me for comfort. You wouldn't sneak away from him at every possible turn. You know it's too late. We're already bound, tied together in magic, forever.
He was gone. Or at least, he was out of sight. Wherever I went, he would never truly be absent.
Days passed. The kiss Arden had given her haunted her every waking moment. In part because she had kissed him when her heart belonged to Ignis. In part because she had wanted to.
Come and find me, little dreamer.
His words beckoned like a siren, cutting through thoughts and plans and demanding her attention. Lucis could survive on its own for a while. Why shouldn't she go to Insomnia? She wanted to stand there with her own 2 feet again. She wanted to see her father again, even though she carried his soul with her. And so she went, shaking off ties and responsibilities, and fleeing to the city, which she had once called home. She found him waiting on the Citadel steps, exactly as he had been every time before.
Ah, little dreamer. I was just beginning to wonder if you wouldn't come at all.
Yet here I am.
Yet here you are. I have something for you.
First I want to see Father.
Oh, but of course. How inconsiderate of me. And to think, for a moment, I thought you would come to see me. Say no more. I completely understand.
He led her into the Citadel, through disused and damaged halls, though she knew the way herself. Her father lay precisely where he had fallen the night Drautos had run him through. He was only recognizable by his clothes now.
Why do you come here if it brings you such pain?
So I never forget.
Would that be so bad?
Yes.
He doesn't have to stay this way, you know. You don't even have to do anything.
The black and violet glow of Arden's magic crept from his fingertips and leapt towards her father.
No! What are you doing?
Only what you wanted.
She watched as dark shadows wrapped around her father's skeleton, enveloping him, consuming him, blotting him out from view until he was only blackness.
Don't! Arden, please!
The darkness faded, and where once there had been a skeleton, lay her father.
What did you do?
Only what I promised you.
Father! His skin is warm. He's breathing. Has a heartbeat. This is impossible.
I told you, little dreamer. All he needs is a soul. And all you need do is wait.
We took father upstairs to lay on his bed amidst a sea of ever-blooming flowers. I don't know how long I stood staring at him. Eventually, Arden led me across the hall to the room that had once been mine.
We have yet to discuss your place in my kingdom, once this is all over.
You mean when Noctis is dead?
Yes, when Brother Dear is dead, and you and I are the only Kylans remaining. The rejected few, emerging victorious against the gods chosen.
But you'll bring father back.
But of course.
What about Noctis?
What about Noctis?
Can you bring him back?
That rather defeats the purpose of killing him.
But it doesn't. Don't you see? You will have already proven that you're stronger, that the Astrals have failed. What difference does it make if he stays dead?
I'll do it for you, little dreamer.
Arden...
His lips brushed hers. She didn't turn away, like she had meant to do. He held onto her chin and kissed her just like he had before and every night since, when she replayed that moment in her mind. Except this time they weren't even pretending that she didn't know the truth.
You're distracting me, little dreamer. I brought you here to show you what I found for you. An old violin. Yours, I expect.
Yes.
Won't you play me something, little dreamer?
I don't know. I haven't played in years.
Or just for me?
I used to play for father.
But he never listened, did he?
He was very busy.
Play for me, little dreamer. I will never turn away. Or better yet, play for yourself. You don't need him to watch you anymore.
What shall I play?
Whatever is in your heart.
She played. A song without beginning or end, without purpose or goal. A low, mournful note climbing higher and higher, not joyful but frenetic. Her fingers hit each note without pause or hesitation, though she couldn't have remembered where they were if she had tried, and she let it sweep her up. The sound of a tumultuous sea in a storm. The sound of desire so desperate it aches in the soul. A song of struggle, not for life, but for death. It ended just as sharply, just as suddenly, as a blade thrust through a chest.
Oh, Brava, little dreamer. A magnificent display, but the encore will have to wait. Dear Ignis has come looking for you.
Ignis? He led me out of the citadel and into the city. We walked in silence through the streets, which were empty save for the demons. They didn't trouble us. On the edge of the city, where the bridge to the mainland met Insomnia's gates, we found Ignis, waiting.
Reyna?
Oh, Ignis. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have left without a word.
How touching.
Pardon?
It's all right. He was just walking me out.
I was. And now I'm holding a sword to your blind man's throat. Funny how things change, isn't it?
Stop it.
If I can't have you, neither can he.
I said stop it. You're only forcing me to stand between you. I'll die before I let you kill Ignis.
It's time to make a choice, little dreamer. You know I'll only be tempted to take poor Ignis's head off until you do. What will it be, little dreamer? The man who knows everything about you, your deepest secrets, your darkest desires, who embraces all of you, who can give you everything you have ever wanted, or the man who can't see what's right in front of his nose?
Arden, you know my heart.
But of course I do.
I must choose you.
If this is truly what you want...
I'm sorry, Ignis.
I understand.
Don't cry, little dreamer. These people will never understand you as I do. And I will give you everything. Together, we can make anything. And make this world whatever you want.
Is he gone?
Yes. Ignis, I know what I've done is unforgivable, but...
There is nothing to forgive.
What?
Reyna, when I said I would always trust you and always stand beside you, I meant every word. In my heart, this changes nothing. You have made a choice, and though I wish we lived in a world where it was not necessary, I trust that you have made the correct choice.
If I turned him away, so much of Lucis is only safe because of his favor. I don't know...
I understand. There comes a time when every ruler must make a choice between what they would like and what is best for their kingdom. And whatever you believe, whatever you will others to believe, I have always trusted that you would do what was best for your people. I expect nothing less from you.
Ignis...
No. Listen to me, Reyna. I have spent my entire life preparing to stand beside the king. I have always been prepared to take a back seat, so to speak. I place no expectations on you. I offer myself in your service freely and unconditionally. The offer remains, now and always.
Then you'll stay?
Always. And know that I still love you, and always will.
One morning near the start of spring, as the cold weather grew warmer, Dr. Jaeger called the council to an unscheduled meeting. She rolled into the city in the sort of rush that had the most important people in Lucis assembled within 10 minutes.
We expanded the testing to 10,000, all healthy adults, with roughly half of those being exposed to the Star Scourge. Unfortunately, many of them are showing signs of the infection.
How many is many?
About 3,000, Your Highness.
3,000?
Yes, Your Highness.
What is the probability that the rest of those who were exposed simply haven't shown signs of infection yet?
Probably even odds, Your Highness.
We have taken a risk with this whole idea.
What was the demographic for the test group?
Healthy adults between the age of 20 and 50?
Those are our hunters, our workers. The entire kingdom is built on their backs, and you're telling us that 3,000 of them are now dead?
Well, they're not dead yet. Maybe we can still find a cure. I don't know what went wrong yet, but I can find it.
You've been working on a cure for years and never growing closer. These people are as good as dead.
No, they aren't. Dr. Yeager, go ahead to the treatment facility. I will meet you there.
Your Highness?
Go.
Of course.
What do you mean to do?
Cure them.
Reyna, tell me you are not planning what I think you are planning.
I'd rather not lie to you unless it's strictly necessary, Ignis.
This will infect you, Reyna. This is what destroyed Arden.
I know.
Don't do this. Please don't do this.
I cannot simply let them die.
Just because you see yourself in him doesn't mean you need to strive to follow in his footsteps. Please. We will find another way.
I'm sorry, Ignis.
Reyna!
Arden, I need you.
And so I am here.
I need to know how to cure the Star Scourge.
By killing yours truly. But you already knew that. What are you really asking, little dreamer?
How to heal a person.
They won't thank you, you know.
I don't need their thanks.
With each life you restore, you will lose a little bit of yourself. You think they fear you now. It is nothing compared to how they will view you after. Tainted. Corrupted. A demon. You will become the very problem that you spent so long trying to fix.
I know.
Very well. I will show you how to save your people, little dreamer.
Thank you.
And then, when your work is done, I will teach you what it took me 1,000 years to learn.
They reached the treatment facility. Inside, people lay, or sat, or stood and paced. Some showed blackened veins and paling eyes. Others had a rattling cough deep in their chest. And still others looked, for the moment, entirely healthy. Eyes turned when she entered.
Your Highness. The princess.
Princess Reyna.
How many can I cure at once?
My, but aren't we eager? Perhaps we should start with just one. And once you have the understanding, you are free to apply it however you like.
Very well. How do I do this?
Feel for the scourge. Control it. And draw it out. Like poison from a wound.
It feels like ice in my blood.
Very good, little dreamer. Now do it again. You know what to look for now. Gather up every ounce, reach out, and cast your power over every last infected in this building. Pull it inside yourself. Don't stop. If you falter, they're all going to die. You're the only one who can save them from this.
And she pulled until every strand, every string of scourge was black in her veins rather than in her people. It filled her eyes with black ichor until the whites were black and ice-blue irises were stark against them. It filled her mouth and she tasted bile, and it spilled out, too much to contain in one person, until she could feel it dripping, cold and thick, down her face. The world lurched.
Verena, you truly are the rival of the gods.
Miasma swirled around them. It was in her as much as it was in him, and soon it was surrounding them both, obscuring her vision of the people she had cured. The people who had watched her become what they feared most, and then everything was black. Now they were in the darkness outside, now insomnia, now the citadel, now the throne room.
Kill me. Don't let me turn.
Little dreamer. They won't take your soul. You are much too strong for that. Look inside. It is everywhere, taking over. But you control the scourge. I gifted you that.
I stopped trying to breathe. I gathered up everything that remained of my strength, everything that remained of my reach, and forced my will upon the red strands of Star Scourge that threatened to take over my soul. They snapped into lines and I grasped at them, one fistful after another, pulling them away from the vital parts and gathering them up into one thick rope of Scourge, and I breathed.
Little dreamer, you have already won. Coil it up. Keep it inside. The rest of the world believes it's a curse. But we know the truth, you and I. It is power.
My eyes?
White and beautiful.
Thank you.
She came back past midnight. I know, because I sat on the wall waiting for her. But she didn't show up in her car. She walked out of the miasma at the edge of the floodlights, and for a moment, my eyes refused to interpret what I was seeing. The black mist wrapped around her like it didn't want to let her go. But it wasn't just around her. It was shaping her. She wasn't all the way solid when she stepped into the light, but the mist swirled and filled up the cracks. For a second, her eyes and mouth were black of ichor, and the white scars on her skin crisscrossed with black veins. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. She wasn't supposed to walk where I couldn't follow. She wasn't supposed to make everyone love her and then throw everything away for the Star Scourge incarnate. She wasn't supposed to be the sort of queen that everyone was afraid of. She wasn't supposed to sell her soul. I'm sorry, Dad. I failed you. Ray, you remember that time we sat on the roof and you told me to stop wishing I could see my dad again?
Yes.
You were right. I know Dad, and he would be proud of me. Even though you turned into this, whatever you are, he would have told me it wasn't my fault. That he was proud of me anyway. I don't need to keep following you down this road to make that true. And I couldn't, even if I wanted to.
I won't try to stop you from walking away. I'm only sorry to tell you that you were wrong. I couldn't do it.
Your dad is dead, Ray! It's been 5 years! How can you still be waiting for him?
I'm not. I never have to wait for him again.
You've been seeing him all these years. How could you do that to yourself? To us? You should have just let him go and everything could have been okay!
I told you, given the choice, I would have done the same thing every time, even knowing the price I pay for it.
I can't do this anymore, Ray! I can't do it! I can't watch you tear yourself apart and throw away everything we used to have. If you want to be some demon queen ruling Lucius from the shadows, then just don't take everyone else with you!
I've been trying to leave everyone behind since the start.
Well, congratulations then! You did it! First you broke Ignis' heart, now mine! Have you done Corey yet? He's really just a big softy underneath. I bet if you sink that dagger into his gut and twist it, it'll hurt him just as much as it did the rest of us. Bye, Ray. Don't come looking for your shield anymore. You don't have one.
Goodbye, Iris. Sister.
From that day forth, she spent less time in Lestalem and more in Insomnia. All she had to do was step out into the darkness, and the Star Scourge would carry her home. Home. As if the broken shell of the Crown City could ever be home again. But it was the closest she had. Everywhere else, she was out of place and unwanted. Arden never looked at her like she was a monster. Perhaps because he was one too. But he was what he had been made, nothing more and nothing less. Reyna made these choices for herself. She was what she had made. She returned to Lestalem only when necessary. As Iris had so aptly put it, Reyna ruled from the shadows, the Demon Queen, a fitting moniker. Perhaps she would be remembered that way in history books, or perhaps she would be blotted out from Lucius's history altogether, as Arden had been, forgotten in the ages to come. Only time would tell. She didn't care to look that far ahead. It didn't matter. Very little did anymore. Only halfway through the long night, and it seemed it would never end. Though Reyna had done everything in her power to keep her word to Noctis and protect his people, it seemed saving them meant losing herself. She saw the wrongs in the world, the injustices mortals were subjected to, though they never knew it. That knowledge cost everything she had to give.
Come with me, little dreamer.
Where?
To lay to rest the threat of Eos, one that should have been eliminated centuries ago. Come with me to kill the Draconian.
For justice.
For revenge.
A better cause.
They left the lights, and eyes followed. Hundreds stared as Reyna and Arden passed out of sight. They stepped through the shadows together and rematerialized on Angelgard.
Are you the reason that Niflheim began killing Astrals?
But of course.
And the reason they invaded Insomnia?
Aedolis was unhinged. It was all too simple, really, to convince him he was the chosen, and the Lucians were keeping the crystal hidden from him. And how better to eliminate all but the last of Somnus's line, and give the little prince something to fight for.
But you didn't.
No. Such a shame the last of the Kylam bloodline turned out to be so like the first. But then I suppose my good genes were bound to turn up again eventually. 114 generations later.
Not quite the last Kylam.
Soon to be the last. After tonight, the only Astral left on Eos will be corrupted by my own hand. Their ties to this world will be cut with the death of your brother. No more Astrals. No more curse on our bloodline. After Noctis dies, Lucius is free.
But you'll bring him back.
But of course, little dreamer. When this world is ours, I will make anything you want.
Then let's kill Bahamut.
First, you must promise you'll come to Insomnia after. They won't want you back, you know. Why waste your time on those who don't appreciate it?
No, I suppose they won't. I'll come with you, but don't think I'll stop protecting them.
Perish the thought, little dreamer. I know you. Now, shall we summon the last of the cattle for slaughter?
Do it.
Oh, Draconian! Do be a good boy and join us. I have a bone to pick. Ah, there you are. The others I could leave to the machines and demons, but you deserve a personal touch. Fitting, don't you think? You tainted mankind with a plague that turned them into monsters. Then those monsters killed your brethren. Oh, except for the Infernian. I think I'll keep him. He's ever so obedient.
Accursed fool, fallen king, this war is not one thou can win.
Thankfully, I've made a friend. Oh, but don't you remember? Shall I introduce you? Oh, Draconian, this is the child you cast aside as surplus, unnecessary, unneeded, an accident. After all, what good is one when they have the brother? O Dreamer Queen, I present to you Bahamut, the scourge upon your world, destroyer of your kingdom, killer of your people. What shall we do with him, little dreamer?
What anyone would do with a pest.
Thy people will suffer for thy hubris.
Oh, yes, because that worked out so well for you last time. But astrals are as stone, slow to change, lacking of intelligence, and completely devoid of the capacity to learn. If you could, you would remember what happens when you discard a Kylum.
Together they reached to the sky and beyond, through hundreds of generations to borrow the strength of ages. Glaives leapt to his call, a circle of spectral weapons painted in crimson. They gave him wings. The armature that came at Rayna's call glowed with violet light. Violet because she wasn't just Lucian anymore. She wasn't just the blue fires of Eos's light, but the crimson of the Star Scourge as well. She was everything, the light and the dark combined within her.
Fly with me, little dreamer. Tonight we set right a 3,000-year-old wrong.
She took his hand and they became one. She tied his strings to hers, wrapped up in her magic, tangled them together until there was no telling where one stopped and the other began. The two circles of their armature formed a lemniscate around them. Rayna and Arden were one and the same. Her magic pulled on his and his on hers. She didn't move in reaction to him, she moved in unison with him. They shared the same thoughts, the same ideas, the same desires. Spectral glaives flew, they streaked, they struck, leaving a masterpiece of red and purple lines in the night air. Their art was punctuated with fire and ice. A blast, a burst, a streak of light.
Puff!
Is that the best you can do? The Sword Saint, the Draconian. Oh, how you disappoint.
Fire crackled across the Draconian's armor, black and red and violet, leaping and climbing, finding every nick and every notch. It crept inside and burned deeper than skin. It crept inside and singed what little was left of Bahamut's soul.
Now the scourge, little dreamer. Let us taint him with the same curse he inflicted on us.
Black taint stretched from the earth and darkened the Draconian's armor. It wasn't covered, it wasn't coated. It was transformed. It consumed him while he thrashed, sword swinging wildly. Soon the scourge took Bahamut's chest in his arms. His sword fell away with a resounding crash, which echoed across the sea. When it climbed up his neck and dripped from his face, he gave one last guttural scream before his mouth and lungs filled with black ichor.
Now, little dreamer, show me your power. The power they denied you for so long. How fitting that you should use it to end the reign of the Astrals.
Reality cracked around them. She tore down the walls to the in-between that she and he so often and so seamlessly slipped through. The hole she cut was big enough to fit an astral through, and it did. It dragged a Bahamut, and though the tainted astral resisted through some misdirected sense of self-preservation, it swallowed him whole. Then it pulled at them, not content only to eat one god today.
What if I don't close it? What if we both fall in and end this too long life?
Not yet, little dreamer.
He caught her chin in his hand, taking the upturn of her face as an invitation, and he kissed her. Slowly, the world knit again around them. The pull lessened. The wind quieted, and, with a burst of energy, the wall between realms was solid again.
Not yet.
Word travelled quickly through Lucis. The Draconian was dead, the last of the surviving Astrals, killed by their own queen. As Arden had predicted, as she had known to be true, she wasn't welcome in Lestalem after that. But she had to go back eventually. And when she did, she was met with the same looks she had seen on so many Lucian faces when the Empire's Magitech soldiers had marched through their cities. Empty, soulless, demon. That was how they saw her. She couldn't help but wish that she felt a little emptier inside. When Ignis bowed his head on hearing her pass, but didn't reach out to her because she had taxed even his nigh-endless understanding and trust. When Sid shook his head with that look on his face, half disappointed, half disturbed. When Weskham wouldn't even meet her gaze anymore. When Gladio watched her past with open hostility on his face. When Prompto found every excuse not to be in Lestalem while she was. But most of all, she wished she felt emptier inside when Kor stopped her in the hall. Every trace of open affection she had once seen on his harsh features was gone, replaced by a look of disappointment and disgust.
I'd like to say I can't believe what you've done. But the fact is that I can. Which is almost more disturbing than you are. I can only say I'm thankful that Regis is dead. At least he never had to see what you turned into.
I have done what I deemed to be best.
Best? Best for who? Best for that sick bastard sitting on the throne in Insomnia? Best for whatever demon is eating your soul? Am I even talking to Reyna anymore? If there is anything left of her inside, you tell her I still love her. And then, I'm sorry I failed her. Should have been stronger.
I'm still here, Kor. I'm still inside.
A routine formed after a fashion. Reyna kept to the shadows, coming to Lestalem only as often as her responsibilities dictated. Her place in the new ruling council of Lucis faded, when everyone regarded her as a demon. It was simpler to leave written instructions or let Ignis pass on her orders. So he took her place and became, more or less, the only person who ever saw her, certainly the only person who ever spoke to her. The rest of Rayna's time she split across Lucis and Insomnia. Even with her ever-increasing power, she couldn't keep all of Lucis's demons in check at once. So she slipped through the darkness, no longer constrained by physical means of transportation, moving from one corner of the kingdom to the other in moments. From outside the settlements, she could hold the demons back. She lightened the load on their walls so repairs could be made and kept convoys safe as the cars moved between outposts. No one noticed. She was just one more shadow in the night. Though she was always tired, she rarely slept. It wouldn't have made a difference anyway. The weariness was soul deep. She couldn't wash it away with a full night's rest. But when invariably everything grew too much for even her father to soothe, Rayna returned to Insomnia, to him. And so passed 5 years of darkness and silence and solitude, until, at last, the day she had awaited for 10 years came.
And so he awakens.
At last.
He'll meet with the others in Hammerhead. Then they will come here.
Go, little dreamer. Go and be on hand when dear Noct arrives. And bring him to me.
Very well. I'll see you soon.
The long wait is nearly over, little dreamer. Can't you taste the end?
I can. He was already in Hammerhead when I arrived, reunited with his brothers after 10 years. He hardly recognized his own sister.
Ray?
Hello, Noct.
Rayna, what happened to you?
I kept everyone safe, just like you asked.
I'll make this right.
He's waiting for you.
Who?
Arden.
Right. Then let's not keep him waiting. He has a hell of a lot to answer for.
This isn't his fault, Noctis. Just, whatever happens, just know that.
Why? What? Right. Why are they all afraid of you?
Because I bared my teeth and chased them all away. You'll understand later.
I don't have a lot of later left, Ray.
You'll understand before the end.
The drive to Insomnia was quiet. Even though we didn't pass anyone else on the roads, I could have almost believed it was 10 years ago. Right up until we reached Insomnia. The last time I'd been inside, the wall had been intact, the sun had been in the sky, and my dad had been alive. I thought I was just leaving to get married to Luna. It seemed like a lifetime ago. Where are all the demons?
Not far away. I thought you would prefer to have them out of the way, but if you'd rather kill them. They were humans once too, though.
Don't bring those things here.
As you wish.
Rayna, tell me what the hell is going on.
I've kept them safe, whatever the cost.
Fashionably late, I see.
Arden.
Insomnia, the crown city of my kingdom. Apologies, little dreamer. Our kingdom.
Hello, Arden.
Come now, little dreamer. There's no need to stand on ceremony. Why not tell brother dear all we've been through in his absence? Are you ashamed?
I could hardly believe what I was seeing. Arden taking Rayna's chin in his hand. Arden lowering his face. No, absolutely not. Impossible. To kiss her. Rayna not pulling back.
Ah, yes, not. And it isn't even a trick. You see, Rayna has seen the whole truth. The whole world was laid out before her eyes, plain and clear. And she isn't content to be a pawn any longer. You don't have to play by their rules anymore. Today, we make our own game. My dreamer.
Rayna, remember what else I said? I love you. Unconditionally. It hasn't changed.
Come with me, little dreamer. Come with me and put an end to their lies and manipulation. Come with me, and we'll make this world whatever you want.
Odin.
Little dreamer.
We both know that a world built on spite and revenge could never bring happiness. Not to you, not to me, not to anyone we saved. I wish I could go back and undo what they did to you. I wish I could take away the pain and fix this. But no matter how hard I try, no matter how much I love you, there is only one way this can end happily for us. There is only one way to find the peace we crave. Please don't make me fight you.
And here I thought we were getting along so well together. But after all this time, after all you've seen, you choose to side with the crystal. Do you really think that'll take you back, little dreamer? You are a monster, after all.
He reached into her, tugging and cutting and pulling and tearing her apart until the star scourge unraveled and surged like ice in her veins once more. She fought him for control, but he had already succeeded. She could taste it on her tongue and feel it dripping down her face like black tears.
Look upon your sister, O chosen king. Can you still stand beside her as she truly is? Tainted by the star scourge. Can you still love her while black corruption drips from her face?
I love you, Ray. Unconditionally.
This is what we are, but it doesn't have to be who we are.
How sweet. Oh, but here I've let your confession of love fall by the wayside. How remiss of me.
Arden.
Let me respond properly then. I hate you. With all of my being. Now then, where were we? Oh, yes, my gift to you, Noctis. The same gift your father gave his life to sustain. You'll have to find a way through if you wish to reach the Citadel. You know, I could have left you with my little pet and called it a day. Your dear sister doesn't like it when I poke fun at your father, but I've had a change of heart. So I give you this parting reminder of Daddy dearest. Do hurry home, children.
Reyna, I love who you are, Ray. Now and forever.
I love you, Noct. We need to move. He won't let me control the demons anymore. They'll be here soon.
Let's go.
Looks like there's no way past the wall.
Of course there is. The wall was never infallible. Like any other shield, it will break under enough strain.
How do we put it under that much strain?
You've got all those gods on your side, right?
Yeah.
No, we don't need them, Noct. We don't need any of them. Together we are stronger.
Show me what to do.
Whatever you're gonna do, you better do it fast.
Between the two of them, they held the cumulative power of Eos and 113 generations of Kala monarchs. Already their magics were intertwined, Nox's pure blue to tainted Reyna's violet. She reached for the strands of their forefathers and wove them into the tapestry. One by one they joined. Somnus, Tonitras, Crepera, their father. 115 minds in one place at one time should have been chaos, but it wasn't. It was unified. This was what they had been waiting millennia for. 2,000 years of their bloodline now bound together for their final purpose, their ultimate purpose. Not because the gods willed it, not because they were required to, but because this was their responsibility to their people. It was a monarch's place to protect his kingdom. They could feel Solnus's resignation, Tonatrus's determination, Cropera's rage. They could feel Father's love, wrapping them both up like he used to do when they were 8 and afraid of the dark. And they could feel where the power needed to go. On Rayna's hand, the ring of the Lucii flared to life. The pair of them stood, outlined in blue-white light, as the air tensed, uncomfortably heavy for a moment, like the building pressure before a thunderstorm. And then it happened. The light poured out from their outstretched hands, still tangled together, and arced like fire, ice and lightning molded together. It was 100 glaives. It was 1,000 arrows. It was the earth splitting open and the lifeblood pouring out in one single concentrated stream. Though the twins held strong at the eye of the storm, the others struggled against it. The demons, farther from the center, fared worse. They were swept up and forced back, tumbled, flattened, and crushed. The shield cracked, then shattered.
And here we are. I must thank you for helping me mop up Bahamut, little dreamer. Do be a good girl and kill the last astral for me, will you? I shall await you above.
Is Ifrit the last astral?
Yes.
Why?
Because they are not gods. Because they are not our allies. They are our jailers, our arrogant puppet masters, our narcissistic slave drivers. And this whole thing is their fault. Because they created the Star Scourge and infected Solheim with it. Because they made Arden who he is. And because they, after fucking over all of Eos, had the audacity to drop the whole fucking mess on our family and curse 2,000 years of our forefathers to deathless limbo just to gather enough power for this moment. And they could have spared us all of this. They could have helped Arden instead of casting him out. He could have destroyed the Scourge instead of embracing it. But in their pride and their short-sighted dogmatic view of good and evil, of light and dark, they multiplied their own mistake 100 times over until the only way to eliminate it was this. Stand with me, not. Help me kill the last of them before we fix their mistakes and put this world back together. Not because they meant for us to do it, but for us. For our family. For Lucis. So that Father and everyone else can finally rest. So that Eos can bask in the light once more.
Let's do it. For Lucius. For Dad. Gladio, with me. Prompto, hang back and wait for an opening. Specs, ice. Everyone, don't get cooked.
They moved together, circling round Ifrit in opposite directions as 2 sets of blades soared through the air. Each blade left a cut when it landed. Whether Astral's blood or not was immaterial. His own reaction of building rage as he swatted at them was enough. One of his hands was large enough to crush them, but only if he could catch them. And he tried, but it was impossible to fight a foe who always knew where he would strike. It only took a few moments to draw him to his feet, and a few more after that to bring him to his knees. Gladio worked from below. Ignis's flasks cracked and froze Ifrit's skin, and Prompto filled in whatever gaps the other 2 left while Rayna and Noctis kept him otherwise occupied. The rage of the Star Scourge drove Ifrit on. Rayna could see it now, burning black in his eyes. She could feel it too. An hour ago she would have been able to pull on it and bend him to her will, but Arden held his reins now. So she drove every blade against him in an unending barrage, until that rage, impotent in the end, brought him howling and crashing down.
The path up the stairs and through the ruined citadel was familiar by now. It no longer felt like home. It was like walking through a lucid dream.
I'm afraid you're out of luck. I made my offer, little dreamer. Now I'll kill you along with Brother Dearest, as I should have done 10 years ago.
You should have. What stopped you?
Boredom.
You can't lie to me, Arden.
Tonight I end my brother's line. But first, let's eliminate the unnecessary baggage, shall we?
He threw out his power, and the darkness leapt from his fingers like a living thing to seek out Gladio, Prompto, and Ignis. Perhaps I could have stopped it, but I didn't try. I had already dreamed dropping to my knees and feeling for Ignis' pulse to be certain it was still there. They were safer this way.
What the hell?
They'll be fine.
Oh, you always ruin everything, little dreamer. Didn't I tell you to stay home?
I'm sorry.
Come, Noctis, Reyna. Let me feel the true power of your crystal. The once helpless and hapless prince. His once jealous, inconsequential twin. 114 generations of distilled power versus 2,000 years of the darkness that lurks inside your little heart. Let the games begin.
No. Now they end.
This is the end, Arden.
You think 10 years is a long time to wait? I spent an eternity in darkness. Afraid to fight me, little dreamer?
I take no pleasure in killing you.
What a shame. I will take great pleasure in killing you.
Reyna, you don't have to. This isn't your fight.
You're wrong, Noct. It is my fight. It always has been.
Oh, really now, twins? You're beginning to bore me. Little dreamer, come with me, little dreamer.
Let's finish this, Noctis.
The kings of yore are on hand, calling you forth to oblivion.
You first.
13 glaives, 13 Lucii, 13 marking the 2,000 years that separated Noctis and Reyna from Arden. As each one cut through his mortal form, more miasma bled out until a black mist hung around his body. And with the last lunge, Father's blade,
Strike true, my son.
Arden fell.
Is this the future you would have, little dreamer? A sacrifice for the light. A blood debt to be repaid. And myself erased from history once more.
You know me, Arden. Always doing the wrong thing. I'll make sure everyone knows the truth. About the Star Scourge, about the Astrals, about the Kalums, about you.
This time, you can rest in peace. Close your eyes. forevermore.
I will await you in the beyond.
Sleep well, Arden. My friend, my lover, myself. At the Citadel steps, we reunited with the others for one final farewell. Now there was only one thing left to put right in the world. There is no choice. There is only one way this can end.
What the hell are you talking about, Ray? Tell me you're not thinking what I know you're thinking.
You always know my mind, Noctis.
You can't! I'm the only one who has to do this. I'm the one they prepared.
I wish I could tell you it mattered. I wish I could tell you there was something about you that made you the one. But I can't. The power is here, in the ring. Our generation, you and I, we're just vessels. The power doesn't care who uses it.
You can't know that!
But I do.
Raina!
This is the way it always should have been. You return. You stay with your brothers and your friends, while I go on. Everyone gets what they want. Because the truth is, no one left on Eos would rather that I return in your stead.
That isn't true. Specs, help me out here.
It's all right, Ignis. I know that you love Noctis more than me. I expect no less from you, so don't ever apologize. Don't ever think you made the wrong choice.
Raina.
Just know that I did love you. I do love you. Everything you did, you were the only person who cared enough, who trusted enough. You were the only living person I could talk to. So thank you. You kept me sane. You reminded me of who I should have been, even if I couldn't be. But in the end, it isn't enough to make me carry on. So I'll make the same choice as you have.
If this is truly what you desire,
it is.
Then know that, though I cannot keep you here, I have always loved you, and my love goes with you.
You can't. This isn't true. God damn it! People care about you, Ray.
No, Noctis. Not anymore. Because that's how I made it. That's how I meant it to be. When Father died, my whole world ended. I would never wish that on anyone else. Better that they hate me.
You! Everything you did. That was just to get people to hate you?
Yes. Tell Iris... Tell her I'm sorry. She was the best shield any queen could have asked for, and she deserved so much better from me. I still can't fathom why she stayed so long, but she did. So tell her thank you and that I'm sorry.
Raina.
Tell Cor... Tell him it was always me inside. I always wished... Well, tell him it's not his fault. He could never have stopped this, and I'm only sorry that I couldn't be as open with him as he was with me. The others, Westcombe, Sid, tell them I'm sorry too. They never understood, but I didn't mean for them to. I hope they can forgive me. Everything I did was for Lucis, for the future.
Raina!
Tell the Glaive they have paid their debt in full. The Lucia, I forgive them. Father forgives them. I forgive them. I hope they will serve Noctis as faithfully as they served me.
Raina, you can't do this!
I already have, Noctis. You just haven't noticed yet. I'm sorry, Noct. The people I want most to spare are the people it will hurt most. But it can't be helped. This is what I wanted. This is the only thing I have wanted for so long. So please, don't deprive me of this. I can't hold on any longer. I'm going to be with Father again, and we'll wait for you together. But don't you dare hurry to meet us. You belong here with your friends. with your brothers. You'll rebuild Lucis and make it even better than it was before, and people will love you more than they could have ever loved me. Stay here. Usher in the dawn. See an age of peace and prosperity rise from the ashes. And after, only after, when you're tired, when you're ready, I'll see you again. I love you, Noctis. If you miss me, know that I am happier this way.
Wait, Ray. Take this with you.
A photograph? Us. So long ago, before the darkness and the demons. When did you even take this picture, Prompto?
Same night Insomnia fell. Iggy said to check on you, and I found you guys asleep in the dirt out there.
I don't even remember sleeping that night. Thank you, Noctis, Prompto, Ignis, everyone. And goodbye.
Bye, Reyna.
Say hi to Dad. And you'd better be waiting for me. Or...
I love you, Reyna.
This is not what I wanted for you, my dear.
Father, nothing that has happened in my life is what you hope for me.
That is not true.
Regardless of what you do or do not want, those things happened. And it doesn't mean they were bad. I did lie, though. I will be the Queen of Lucis today, right now. If only for a moment.
Reyna, do not ask me to end your life. I cannot do this.
Could you do it for Noctis? Father, do this for me.
Reyna.
You always said I never asked for anything in my life. Now I asked for this. This is what I want for myself. Please, for me.
Reyna, my dear.
There is nothing left for me on Eos. I just want to be with you again.
I had always hoped you would find something more worthwhile in the world than an old man's affection.
I never did.
If this is what you truly desire,
more than anything,
then I will be with you again. Quite soon.
Lucii, forefathers, come to me one last time. Let me sleep. Let me sleep. Father, please.
Forgive me, my dearest. Well, well, well. What have we here? A little dreamer, adrift in between? And here I was expecting dear Noctis to come for me. Then again, you were never any good at doing what you were meant to.
You should have known that this is always what I meant to do.
The gods declare she shall be queen, and so she resists, defiant to the last. My little dreamer.
I thought you hated me.
I do. In the same way that you hate me. And yet, here we are. So ask yourself, little dreamer, who has really won today?
The Astrals are gone. Not even their spirits will be bound to Eos anymore with the covenants fulfilled. The crystal is gone as well, and with it, every bond forged, every burden placed on our family. The ring will dissolve, freeing every soul of every Lucis Calum ever to serve the kingdom, including you. The only power left in our bloodline will be what we held before. The only responsibility left will be to the kingdom. No more decrees from on high. No more soulless power demanding everything. No more plague. So I suppose you got everything you wanted after all.
And you, little dreamer, have you achieved your heart's desire?
I want to sleep.
And so we will. Now, be a darling, and do for me what Daddy Dearest did for you.
As you wish. Kings of Lucis, once more. Once more and we can rest. All of us. At long last, I am free.
We found you pinned to the throne with Dad's sword. 10 years, they told me. He resisted it, and in the end you died a queen. I'd like to say I stood solemnly before that sight and bowed my head in reverence, in respect for your sacrifice. But I won't lie here. I won't tell you I didn't take those steps 3 at a time to reach the throne. And I won't try to tell you I retained any sort of composure when I held you in my arms. Lifeless, like a doll. Hell, I'll even admit that I tried to find a pulse. I knew I wouldn't, but something made me try anyway. How many times did we hold each other through nightmares in the 20 years we had together? Too few. I wish we had just one more time, Reina. My sister, my twin, my better half, my heart and soul. I wish you hadn't suffered for those 10 long years while I slept. I wish you could have found happiness. I wish you could have loved Ignis as much as you loved Dad. I wish I had come to meet nephews and nieces. I wish you hadn't needed to sacrifice yourself. I wish you hadn't wanted to. I wish you'd always known that Dad did love you more. I wish you could have seen what everyone else saw. I wish you could have seen Kor when I carried you out of the Citadel. How much he cared. That look on his face. I've never seen Kor look like that before. I hope I never do again. He wasn't looking at anyone else. He did the same damn thing I did. Searched for a pulse when he knew you were already gone.
Reina. No. No.
Never seen Cor cry before either. I don't wish you could have seen that. You did what you had to do, and I'm still trying to understand why you wanted to. But I know. I was ready to. We watched the sun rise. First time anyone had seen it in years, Gladio said. There were kids who didn't know what it was. Iris met us coming out of the city. She took one look at me and shook her head.
Of course she did.
She said it like she knew before anyone else that you were going to take my place. Resigned, I guess. It's the only word I can think of. I still don't know the half of what happened out here while I was away. Don't think I ever will. No one's real eager to talk about it. But I know she loved you once. She misses you. I think she's been missing you for a long time now. Insomnia's a mess, but we're working on it. I don't think I can move back into the Citadel yet. Went in your room just that once and changed my mind pretty quick. You did a good job. Everyone says Lucius would have been way worse off without you. All those little outland villages turned into real towns with their own internal structure and government and... hell, I don't know. You did good. People are going to come back and we'll make Lucius like it was again. I promise. We found Dad. Dad's bones, anyway. On his bed. But I don't think he got there by himself. We put you with him in the mausoleum. I thought you'd like that. Keep trying to remember to bring flowers, but you know how I am. Ignis always beats me to it anyway.
The plants are beginning to come back. I found these in the gardens.
Thanks. Smells good. What is it?
A species of dianthus. They used to grow here before. I picked some for her once. In another lifetime. I'll never forget how beautiful she looked, smiling in the sunshine.
They're talking about carving a new statue. All the magic went out of the old wall, but the statues are still there, standing guard around Insomnia.
It isn't right. She gave more for Lucius than anyone. If we're going to commemorate a monarch, it should be her.
Yeah, with the Dreamer standing guard, the Crown City would always be safe. Funny thing about the magic. The ring was gone when we found you, and I can't use Elemency anymore. All those links I used to have inside are cut. When I feel for them, the astrals are just gone. I guess you guys got rid of them for good. It's gonna take some getting used to for everyone, but I trust what you did. It was for the best. I've still got the armature. They're 14 now. I was imagining things at first, but it was like it was always there and I never noticed. I don't know how else to explain it. But I'll tell you what, the next time I have to put course straight, I'll use your Naginata. The Naginata of the Dreamer. Thought you'd appreciate it. I guess that's it. I miss you, Ray. And I wish so many things for you. I hope that wherever you are now, you're with Dad. And you're happy. See you soon. But not too soon, I know. I promise.
Waiting for the end to come, wishing I had strength to stand. This is not what I had planned. It's out of my control. Flying at the speed of light, thoughts were spinning in my head. So many things were left unsaid. It's hard to let you go. I know what it takes to move on. I know how it feels to lie. All I want to do is trade this life for something new, holding on to what I haven't got. Sitting in an empty room, trying to forget the past. This was never meant to last. I wish it wasn't so. I know what it takes to move on. I know how it feels to lie. All I want to do is trade this life for something new, holding on to what I haven't got.
Raina, listen to me, Raina. Just me. Nothing else. Hear me.
Episode 5, Scene 8. Wait, nope, I'm not in this. Episode 5, Scene 9. Oh my god, I need a minute. She played a song without beginning or end, without purpose or goal. God damn it! Shut up, Discord! I'm doing stuff! The darkness faded, and where once there had been a skeleton, lay her father. Oh my god. Wow, this is getting intense. Oh boy. Damn. There's a lot of dams at the end of these. Ooh, intense. Jesus Christ. That's intense. Screams in pain. Me! The wind quieted, and, with a burst of energy, the wall between realms was solid again. Aww. That sounds just so nice. Fire crackled a crock. What are those? Jaeger? I hope it's Jaeger. Jaeger? Unless it's Jaegry. No, that's definitely not it. Okay. Not joyful, but frenetic. Frenetic? What? Is that the right word? I've never heard that word. Okay. The two circles of the armature formed a... What? Formed a what? My brain wants to call it a lemon scone. Lemniscate. I'm tripping over my words today. And when she did, she was met with the same looks she had seen on so many Lucian faces when the Empire's Magitek soldiers. And when she did, she was met with the same looks she had seen on so many Lucian faces when the Empire's Magitek until at the last day she had awaited for 10 years to came. Until at the last day she had awaited for 10 years to came. Until at the last day she had awaited for 10 years to came. Until at the last day she had awaited for 10 years to came.
If you want the MTs gone, I will eliminate them myself. I will eliminate them myself. And suddenly Raina becomes Scottish. Mixing two and destroy does not make a word. I don't know. I haven't played in years. That being 24 years, I've never touched a violin before. I don't know. I have never... While truthful, that is not what I'm supposed to say. I have never played violin before, yes. Oh, Ignis, you're so adorable. Relationship goals. This. Then let's kill Bahamut. Bahamut. Can I go to the Bahamas instead? It's all right, Ignis. I know that you love Noctis more than me. I expect no less from you, so don't ever apologize. Don't ever think you made the wrong choice. Aww.
It is growing late. You should have something to eat. I botched that. Let me go back. I don't talk for a long time. Oh, that's the end of me talking. Okay. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. There was a blade to it, after all. And I'm left in the dust. I was on the whole time. Surprise!
Oh, Ray's getting angry at me, so I have to... Oh, Ray... Oh, I get it. I'm reading... Okay, according to the text, the sacred text provided by the writer herself. Apparently, Ray is trying to intimidate Iris. So, how long has your 2,000-year-old demonic ancestor been wanting to jump your bones, Ray? How does that make you feel? Bow chicka wow wow. What am I doing with my life? One more time, just for safety issues. Are we not going to talk about this? I think we should talk about this. Ray, go sit down in the corner right over there. Bang your head against the wall. And then when you're ready, come talk to me about this. You don't want to ruin my fun, but you gonna recommend I take coal with me? I just wish their heads didn't dissolve. I would have so many wall trophies. Take that, Gladdy! Damn it, Plains! It was such a good take, but then you just had to fly over. How dare you? Your dad is dead, Ray. It's been 5 years. How can you still be waiting for him? Iris, channeling your inner Gladio! Woo! Get mad, girl. Get mad.
Yes, I do have coronavirus. But we call it Star Scourge here. Have the corpses started to transform on Earth? No? Oh, good. They will. Good gracious me, am I in every scene? Oh, this is so tiring. And I'm so sweaty. I need to take off all my clothes. Arden, you're still in the sound studio. So, take a picture. For His Majesty's private collection. By some coincidence of divine fuckery. By some divine fuckery, not from the gods, a mortal was born with the ability to reach up his own ass and pull out a sword. This is dreadful, terrible. You won't be getting any more out of me tonight. I'm leaving. Arden, you're still naked. So, who's going to stop me? Fine, let's do this. I was promised crepes afterwards. Oh! Computer, don't make noise while I'm making noise. It's very rude. Technology these days, I mean, my goodness. Well, hopefully that was a few notches above what I performed before. Honestly, you're a practical slave driver. Oh, the agonizing conditions I must work in. Sick with the star scourge, and coronavirus, and without AC. Oh, I must talk to my union about this. Do we have a union? Crazy people who want to blow up the world? No. No one asked you, Mr. Sassy Pants. Fine, I'll start my own union. Who else wants to blow up the world? Prompto? Well, here we are, back again. The amount of lines in this is surely why the other one left. However, due to last week's debacle, armed guards have been placed within the recording studio. I have been informed if they make a sound, I can kill them. Rightio, let's go. You love him. Him. Oh, wait, that's the wrong word. For who better to sit on my ass and do nothing all day? Oh, that's not the line. For who better to hold back the dark than the ruler of... Don't go to sleep, computer! You're as bad as Noctis. Ugh. If you didn't want it, you would be back then. I can't do sexy because I'm too sexy. It just doesn't translate well. Fuck me. That wasn't a request. Though if you're feeling inclined... Oh, this is my favorite part. I'm going to sit down for this. Should I put my leg over the armrest? No. I can't. The armrest is too tiny. I'm afraid you're out of luck. The throne brings you here. It seats only one. That would be my pain in the ass, weirdo dog. Sorry. Well, well, well. What have we here? Go away, doggy. No, you don't get to come in my room. Where were we? Would you stop that? Ugh, she's so stubborn. Would you stop that? No. You are not allowed in here. Go away. Go lay down. No. No. Don't look at me like that. No. No. Ah, yes, Noct. And it isn't even a trick. You see, Raina likes daddy dick. No! For reference, that is not the noise I make when I orgasm. That noise is slightly different. But I won't be making it here. That would be very rude. I'm done! Oh my goodness! I can finally close this tab. Hooray! Now on to the next one. Turns out it was all a dream. Oh my goodness! What a convoluted plot device. Who's she shacking up with this time, Core? Ignis? Having a little reverse harem of her own? Spicy, I like it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must go walk naked out of a recording studio. Toodles!